My name is Holly Lee. I am your virtual career coach. Today, I wanted to share my top 4 tools that you can use to help you job search, salary ranges by geography, and your favorite company of choice. And if you're new to my channel, smash that like and subscribe button. When you do that, YouTube would really appreciate the algorithm. So Indeed.com has been around for a very, very long time. Why is this one of my top favorite tools? Is because it's very easy to use. As mentioned, they've been around for a while, which means what? Not just the top maintained company like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple, but also the startup, nonprofit, basically all of the industry standard uses Indeed.com. So this is just an example. Let's just go over here. Starbucks Corporation is also huge because it's headquartered in Seattle. Let's just assume that I'm really interested in this program manager position in charge of the Canada store of operation. The cool thing about Indeed.com is you can actually click on review. So almost 6,200 folks reviewed of former employees, former and current, working at Starbucks. By the way, all the tools are free. Once you do that, it actually gives you information about interview feedback, questions, what the employers think about working for Starbucks. The whole entire job description is here, and all you have to do is apply directly on the company's website. Indeed is so easy to understand. Even a high school kid can apply for a job they want to. And over here, posted by employer 266. For example, Starbucks is one of your top companies for e-commerce or retail. It's also B2B aside from B2B and B2C. So if this is the case, telling me there's 266 open jobs right now at Starbucks from what we just saw. And I just click on the location. It looks like they're hiring in Seattle. Even if it says Canada store operation, this may be a remote opportunity. I don't know yet, but if you click on more, it will give you so much details. Let's do another one using Indeed on Honolulu. This is environmental project manager. I have no clue what that is, but you could click on the company's website directly. This is what I love about Indeed. You can sign up with different methods and not just entering your email when you're creating an account. So with that in mind, the entire job description, you click on the website to learn more. There's 39 people who have reviewed of Cape Environmental Management Inc. So that's telling me the company has been around for a while. The biggest tip I can give you guys before you apply to a job or be interested to learn more about the role is do some homework about the company. Read the review. This one, it seems like the employers are fairly happy. What's there not to be happy? You're on an island. You're in paradise, right? The company gets 4 stars. So there's other organization here as well. Here's a Kayala Systems Technology that's looking for a program manager. Again, program and projects are very similar. Just because it says program manager does not mean that you should foresee it or bypass it. It tells you the pay range. It tells you if it's full-time, part-time contract, the shift, so on and so forth. This is why I love Indeed. It's very, very simple to use and all the informations are in here. Hawaiian Airline is hiring. There's a whole list of stuff for you there, my friend. Again, on the very top, put project manager. If I were you, I would also put program manager and not pigeonhole yourself in one specific title. If you go over here, it says 136 jobs. There's 136 jobs with a program management title. Let's go back to project manager. In project manager alone, there's 207 jobs with that position title. So I would highly encourage you to take a look at the positions, the different organizations, and see what is to your liking. I'm a very specific career coach. I think all career coaches should be very specific. If you're not specific, people will wander all over being generic and trying to figure out what you're looking for, especially when you're trying to convey to the employer you want a specific role or the functions that you're interested in working in your next level up. So my second one is Glassdoor. I talk about Glassdoor in almost every single one of my job search tutorial. I left a link in the live chat. Take a look at it. I'll take you exactly to it. All of them are so easy to use, starting with Indeed, right? Extremely easy. So this is another one here. The difference between Glassdoor and Indeed.com, I felt that when it comes to salary ranges, Glassdoor is a little bit more accurate. So the one thing that I would advise all of you guys to do is look at the date of the post. For example, this is just random. This is an IT consultant. You can tell the post was 4 hours ago, so you know this is up-to-date data. I'm all about as real-time as humanly possible. So when you're looking at salary, for example, you want to make sure it is up to date. Yes, I am in Phoenix, Arizona, so it's tagging towards my nearest location. So let's just say that I am VP of Business Development. This is the total pay for a VP. Actually, as mentioned, And whatever that you see here, you can always negotiate. Base pay seems a little bit low for a VP, especially from Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is very big, or the Bay Area. So depending on what part of the Bay Area you are in. So if you're living in San Francisco, obviously you have to really negotiate for the high standard of living. And another high area, San Jose, East Bay, that area, Peters, Fremont, Santa Clara, Cupertino is very expensive. Mountain View, Palo Alto, I know because I am a California Bay Area girl. So you know to really negotiate. But the thing I really love about Glassdoor is salary is pretty accurate. Generally, I've seen it's about 15 to 20% lower than the market rate. So market rate meaning depending on if this person is putting in the market data sharing to the community, you have to think of the person who's typing the information. What is their background and what is their company they're coming from? If they're making that much as a startup, obviously if you're applying for a bigger corporation, you would be making more. So that is something to consider. You may want to also check out my salary playlist because I talked a lot about those statistics where the data market research is coming from. Here's everything for VP of Business Development, Apollo Educational Group. You know, the interesting thing to me is that earlier on, we looked at over here, the total pay is about $250K. This is exactly my point of what and who is reviewing. If you go down here, if you look at this company right here, you can tell it is, you can make up to about $500,000 because it says so right here, $563K as a VP. That sounds pretty right for a VP of Business Development. Let me give you an example. This Intercom Corporation right here, even though it says that they're looking for a senior business development manager, if you are interested in the organizations or interested in the products or whatever that may be, if I were you, I would click on the business, learn more about the company and see if they're looking for executive. If they're not looking for an executive now, use your networking tool. I even have a free template for you. Everything I talk about is free. Reach out to the chief of staff or, you know, the CFO or whoever the decision maker is, and make sure you stay in contact with them to build meaningful relationship. I talk about networking and relationship for a very long time. So let's go ahead and go straight to LinkedIn. LinkedIn, if you're watching this, and I hope you are, please fix your algorithm, fix your UI, fix your features. It tracks my location. It doesn't matter what I type. You guys saw what I just did here. It still divert me back to Arizona. That's one thing that I do not like about LinkedIn. They don't appreciate me saying this, but this is YouTube I'm streaming on. Love you, YouTube and Google. So maybe that's why LinkedIn's not loving me. So as you can see, when I click on that, it diverts back to Arizona, which is why I am not, LinkedIn is not my first choice. It is my third choice. There's a lot of great things about LinkedIn because they are the #1 largest networking platform in the world, hands down. But when it comes to job search, it has to be coming from you. And I can't even give you a full tutorial. Look at this, that I like. I wouldn't look at any of these jobs, these remote jobs in the US, if you're based on international. The reason being is that when you have to collaborate with your US team, the time difference is going to eventually hurt you. So my apology, I was hoping for more, but unfortunately there isn't. Ironically, Levels FYI is on my agenda up here to talk about next. Level FYI is my ultimate #1 tool when it comes to salary. I feel like their data is most accurate than any other tools out there. Why? Again, I have no clue. I play around with salary.com, glassdoor.com, Levels FYI as my 3 tools, but Levels FYI for some odd reason, you can tell the salary ranges, it's broken down by bonuses and equity, so on and so forth, but it's more accurate. So I also talk about this and I made a tutorial in my salary playlist on my YouTube channel. So here you can tell these are the company that's hiring in Lima, Peru for you, my software engineer in Peru. So I would take a look at it. I'm just so happy that I'm able to find at least one platform that I can help you. There's a lot of pages here. I will look through all of them. I'm not going to click on every single one, but you get the idea here. So I want to do a little test on salary here for you while we're on this page. I'm going to stay on Levels FYI for a second because it is my ultimate favorite tool. Let's go with salary by location. This is Peru. Now the standard of living is much lower than the US. So are you guys seeing this? I'm not getting any data. That tells me that there's not a single engineer in Peru that have put down their data. So let's just say we are looking at San Francisco Bay Area. I'm just using this. US as an example, by the way. If you are just a software engineer for San Francisco Bay Area, the medium is 320K. You can make over 400K in the 90th percentile. I'm not going to click on every single one, but you can also compare job data with all the FANG employer as well, even including Microsoft, Netflix, not just Google, Amazon, and Meta. That's why I love Levels FYI. I have an entire tutorial on this, and I'll make another one for version 2.0 coming up soon. So that's just a little bit. As mentioned earlier, here's all of the company lists. Let's just say that you're interested in Stripe. All you have to do is click on your company of choice. You can look at the salary ranges, whichever position title that you are in. In this channel, I get a lot of software engineer, a lot of product manager. You can tell the algorithm is picking up on certain things of my most search. I also get a lot of the recruiters. So you guys kind of get the idea. Assuming that I'm clicking on just software engineering manager salaries, it is telling you the different levels and the salary ranges. Yes, they do compensate very, very well. I'm not going to sign up with Levels FYI or log in right now. If I do, you'll see a lot of my statistics. So let's not share everything to the World Wide Web at the moment, but this is overall the overview of everything. So before you decided to join an organization, it's very good to see what is the company's current estimated revenue is. Even if they're the maintained company like Meta, Facebook, for example, you want to know the health, the financial health of the company, especially during the recession, because you don't want to join an organization and then get laid off pretty quickly. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself properly. I just jumped right into the tutorial, but I am the CEO and founder of Holiday.co. There, I actually teach a group of leaders on how to be interview ready by teaching them how to rebrand their resume and LinkedIn profile and get ready to answer my top 27 to 30 interview questions, and also reviewed all of your answer and show up to my 2-hour mock interview every single day. So this is a very, very small leadership community. If you're interested, there is a link, or you can reach out to me directly on LinkedIn. So I am going back to my search. So that's just a little previewed. If you are a tech person, I will try all of these tools, but in my personal opinion, LinkedIn is very accurate as far as live job posting, because LinkedIn is pretty expensive. Employers don't just want to build a pipeline using LinkedIn as a tool. They will go to like a monster.com, ladder, or something that's a little bit lower in cost. And I would also try Levels FYI of all the job sites. But the thing I talked about real time a second ago, you wanted to see how recent that job is posted. This one is fairly recent. As mentioned, if you're an engineer, there's going to be some home for you somewhere. Somebody's going to want your skill set. It looks like a lot of the role that I'm looking at right now are posted within last Friday, to be exact. Let's go to an associate product manager. Let's go with another one international in London. We have blockchain.com, cryptocurrency. I would actually be really interested to learn more about that. This is why I love Levels FYI. You know the salary, you can compare comps and everything that you want right here. Abbott is one of the largest pharmaceutical and healthcare manufacturer. It'd be interested to see. They have job openings. They have posting as early as last week. If you click on it, it will show you all of the job posting. It tells you how many employees are with a certain organizations. It tells you how profitable the company is and how much. So it gives you a lot more information here. So product manager, associates, JP Morgan. If you keep on clicking, it looks like an unlimited amount of supply here because there's 40 different pages. Let's answer some Q&A. I'm on my third attempt to join Amazon. In previous interviews, I was very nervous. It's okay. I mean, most people, I work at Amazon for 7 years, and I secretly wanted to tell you guys that most folks that are at Amazon have failed Amazon at least 3 times. Even hiring managers and bar raisers themselves have failed several times before they get into any company, not just Amazon. Aiming for US senior software engineer role, but hesitant to check the visa sponsorship box, fearing that it limits my visibility. Should I avoid mentioning it? Your thoughts? I'm from EU. If I were you, I would still click on the visa sponsor for 2 main reasons. Number one, you're not not wasting your time and the employer's time. You just don't want someone to be so interested in you and then found out that they don't have a budget to sponsor you. That is just a waste of everybody's time. Number two reason is that secretly, I want to whisper into your ears. If an employer love what you're bringing on the table, they will bend over neck to sponsor your visa. Yes, they will. Even startup. There's this thing called diversity. Diversity meaning that they don't want everyone to be based in the US. They want diversity coming from all over the world. When you look at different companies, a lot of them are from Asia, Europe, South America, so on and so forth, because organization will get dinged from the Department of Labor if anyone were to ever complain that the entire company is hired from like based on certain geography or only US based. I'm not saying that that's absolutely going to happen to them, but it could happen to them potentially. That is why there's this thing called diversity, and a lot of the company have to meet that diversity bracket for about 20 or even 30%. Of all the companies that I've ever worked for, even from startup to big companies, I wanted to say that at least 60 to 70% of the folks are not from the US or not originally from the US. Even Amazon specifically, I process so many H-1B, L-1, T-1, name it, all kinds of visa, TN from Canada. I would say most of 80% of my offers are some type of visa. Is there an ATS service that you would recommend using to better match resume to the role? That's an excellent question. This is a hard question for me. Is there, I have a lot of resume platform. There's so many of them and they're all the same. I actually play around with all of them. I'm just not impressed with them because a lot of them use keyword and buzzword that you can land an interview, but it doesn't help you land the job. That's a difference between the two. Rather than using an AI to help you pick a lot of the buzzword, because a lot of the buzzword don't even make sense. I know that because in the VIP coaching, I've helped all of my executive or my leaders and even senior level principal folks redo the entire resume. Indeed, because it doesn't even make sense to me. I can tell that a platform spit the resume out with a bunch of buzzwords and it doesn't really tell me how they deliver result. No platform's going to do that for you, by the way. So what I would recommend for you to do is to just pause before you reach out to anybody, because the first thing they do is what? Look at your LinkedIn profile, which is what? Very similar to your resume. Until you fix your resume and make that perfect, I wouldn't go there. Tips on Google Customer Engineer job interview 1 and 2. Google's job interview is very intense in a way where they still ask very hypothetical questions. They do dive very good in your technical component, very similar to Amazon. I have to give that Google and Amazon one thing in common is diving very deep technically. The difference is more academic versus more real life project based experience. If you look at the job description, you literally have to be able to answer all of those technical questions at a Google interview. So if I were you, I would go to Glassdoor, what we just spent some time into doing, and look up on the type of cloud interview questions and make sure that you are polished up into that for first and second interview, because you really don't know what type of questions the interview is going to ask you. It's better to be over prepared than under prepared. Thank you for coaching. This has been great help. I left Amazon and looking to get back on Amazon. What's a great way to start and reach out to recruiters? If you're looking to get back to Amazon and you're an ex-Amazonian, I wouldn't reach back out to the recruiter, because the recruiter, what they're going to do is to look you up and they can tell your previous team or managers and they will backdoor you from your last hiring manager. They absolutely will. So rather than reaching out to your recruiter, I would reach out to your previous hiring managers, because it doesn't matter which new team loves you. They will still read your previous performance review and have a quick chat or at least an email exchange with your previous manager. That's how internal or boomerang works at Amazon, and the same thing with other employer as well. After you have done so, basically you're asking for blessing. You're not necessarily asking to come back to that specific last team that you were with, but at least ping the hiring managers to let him or her feel that, oh, all right, this person, gave me a heads up, because eventually the recruiter or someone is going to backdoor you. You want to be ahead of the game and not behind of the game. After you've done all of that, again, I wouldn't just reach out to the recruiter specifically. As I mentioned in the last week's video, it's called Landing Job Interview. Go check that out. I talked about not reaching out to recruiters because the odds of them still at Amazon, because all of my friends, even recruiting leaders, have been laid off from Amazon. They are not at Amazon anymore. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of the people, if not all of the people that I've known, are no longer there. So why not do a search to see who the hiring managers are from the org you're interested and reach out to them directly on LinkedIn. So the likelihood of you doing that and leveraging your own network is a lot faster than reaching out to recruiters. And also, I may want to add here is that you can't tell if a recruiter is still at Amazon if they haven't changed their LinkedIn profile. So my top 4 tools that you can use to help you job search are Indeed.com, Glassdoor, LinkedIn, and levels.fyi. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for spending the day with me. All the link we talk about today and all of our tutorial on my top 4 job search will be in the description below. Have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.